After returning to profitability last year, Kenya Airways says that it is hunting for a $2 billion cash injection. And that, of course, includes a strategic investor to address its debt and also support its expansion plans. The airline has entered into several new strategic partnerships as well. And those include new deals with Air Tanzania, Visa, Qatar Airways, and also a sustainability pilot with IATA. Now, earlier I spoke with Chief Strategy and Innovation Officer Hellen Mathuka about the airline's progress, especially on that critical search for a strategic investor.
Yes, in fact, we have been looking for a strategic investment partner, and it's a roadmap, it's a process, of course. So we are in the market seeking to raise capital for growth. We aim at growing our fleet, mainly the wide body, that's the passenger aircraft. We're also looking at revamping our narrow body regional aircraft, and at the same time building our capability from a cargo perspective. The journey is long, of course, and we are looking at ensuring that we get a partner that has the same vision in terms of growth of the airline, and in terms of ensuring that we continue growing our hub, that is Nairobi hub, not necessarily moving the hub to any other area. So we are not looking at feeding another hub. We are looking at not only growing the hub in Nairobi, but ensuring that we continue to serve the regional market and the African market where we believe our strength is. So we are in the process of finalizing the investment memo that we'll be going out with in the process of raising funds.
Of note is that we've seen Kenya Airways make a number of strategic moves to form partnerships, as of course you look to enhance your network and your offerings. In fact, you launched a new airline concept that was originally proposed as a joint venture between you and South African Airways. What's the latest on that pretty ambitious project?
Okay, yes, we did launch the Pan-African Group concept, initially working with Southern Africa. That has not progressed significantly. Again, the Pan-African dream is still there, doesn't necessarily stop by the fact that we are not making strides with South African. So we are taking a step back as we wait for South Africa to be clear in terms of their role within the group. That has not stopped us from seeking partnerships with other like-minded airlines within Africa. And yes, we are open for partnership because we believe it's through partnership within Africa that Africa will prosper from an aviation perspective. So yes, we are talking to other airlines within Africa to strengthen intra-Africa connectivity. And the only way you can do that is having code shares or interline agreements, and over and above that, being strong in the various hubs, so that we are able to connect Africa into Africa, or rather using African resources.
And I mean, on that note, I have to touch on some of your other strategic partnerships. As we mentioned, you went into a code-share agreement with Qatar Airways to basically increase flights between Kenya and the Doha hub. You also made a deal with Visa. You launched a co-branded credit and debit card. Also, other airlines like Air Tanzania have been in deals with you. So how impactful so far have you seen these partnerships be to the business? And also, are there other similar deals you're looking at on the table?
Yes, in fact, when you look at the projections in terms of growth within Africa, it's projected that African travel demand will increase by 5% annually over the next 2 decades. And we believe that for us to be able to serve these, rather to be able to be ready to serve and ensure that we tap into this demand, we cannot do it on our own. That is why we are seeking partnerships. Yes, indeed, we have entered into an agreement or an MOU that we signed with Air Tanzania recently, where we are looking at not only expanding in terms of demand, ensuring that we are able to to provide the necessary capacity for the demand that we project, but also ensuring that we are able to grow in other facets, such as development of capabilities within in terms of manpower, sharing resources. For example, if you have a good training school, why should the other airline also invest in the same? Then the other airline can actually invest in something different, so that we are able to utilize and ensure that these resources are well utilized for purposes of return on investment. So the purposes of most of these MOUs does not just serve for route expansion. It also serves other things like training. We are also in agreement, in order signed agreements in relation to maintenance, in relation to market access. So there's a lot of other things that we are looking at besides just route development. The Qatar deal, yes, we did sign an agreement with Qatar Airways. A number of things that we have looked at in that partnership, besides just the connectivity between Nairobi and Doha and Mombasa and Doha, is how we are able to utilize our resources, given that from an African perspective, of course, the financial resources are not limitless.